Well, 49ers versus Texans. I was pretty open coming into this game as a 49er fan, looking how the Seahawks really manhandled the Texans on Monday night. So Texans had one less day rest. Um, but yeah, uh, yeah. Let's get into this. The Texans opened the game with a double-digit play drive. They had the ball for a long time. Niners get the ball 3 and out. Texans again. When their offensive coordinator and their quarterback allegedly said their offense is death by 1,000 cuts. That's exactly what happened today. And they would drive. The 49ers really had no answer for it. Held them to field goals a few times. So the score is much closer than the game was. The score ended up being 26-15. Texans beating the 49ers. But I'm just getting to get into some team stats right here. We'll do the player ones in a little bit. But just look at the comparison. So Texans had 23 first downs. Niners had 12. Total plays, Texans 75, Niners 44. Total yards, 475 to the Texans, 223 to the Niners. Just getting thumped. The Texans manhandled the 49ers, and the Niners just had no answer defensively for what the Texans were doing. There was Stroud was on the money. His receivers, even though Nico Collins was hurt, Christian Kirk was hurt. Had two rookies out there, having some big plays. Noel and is it Higgins? I think it's Higgins. Higgins had 1 or 2 touchdowns, I believe. Noel had a big 45-yard catch, and then their other two receivers, making plays, doing their thing. And so just from rushing yards, we'll break it down even further. 57 yards to Texans, 48 for the 49ers. McCaffrey could do nothing. The 49ers offensive line could do nothing against the Texans. And so that first half, you would think from a fantasy perspective, McCaffrey maybe is going to have 2 to 4 points based on that first half. I think at least 3 and outs, the first 3 drives, maybe more than that for the 49ers. And then penalties, Texans had more, 8 for 55. Niners only had 4 for 30, but didn't really matter. Look at the time of possession. Texans 41 minutes, 22 seconds. Niners 18 minutes, 38 seconds. It just was annihilation. Like I said, this game was way closer in the box score, but it was some lucky plays here and there. As we're getting ready to close out the first half, Mac Jones just throws it up. There's 3 guys on Kittle, and somehow Kittle comes up with a touchdown. And that was after Brian Robinson Jr. ran the kickoff past the 50-yard line. So you would think there was going to be some momentum. The half's not over yet. Maybe there's, 30 to 50 seconds left. Stroud makes a mistake, throws the interception to Lenore. Lenore, one of our team captains, instead of going down to give us a chance to kick a field goal, he kept running, so time ran out. So we had the opportunity to, I think, put the game within 6 points. And Lenore just, mental mistake or trying to get more glory. Yeah, it just didn't work out in our favor. I'm trying to think of guys on the defensive side that stood out to me. T. Winter's probably the best. He ends up getting hurt in this game. But because we couldn't stop them, I think their punter maybe punted 1 time. I'll check that here in a second. The defense really did nothing. And the pressure was minimal, where you flip that coin over, and Mac Jones was just getting pressure all day long. But this is the 49ers' fault. Like I've talked about in other game reviews, the 49ers have not invested in their offensive line other than Trent Williams years ago. What have they really done? Drafted guys, but we draft them late, and it shows in this season. Even though we're 5-3 winning record, I don't know. The Niners, to me, if we make the playoffs, it will be a miracle. But that's because our strength of schedule is pretty weak. But I don't see us doing much of anything, even when we get some guys healthy. And I guess to their defense, we have a ton of injuries with Bosa and Fred Warner being out. But let's just go through the Niners box score. Mac Jones, 19 of 32, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then he threw a pick. He got sacked twice, which you would think he would have gotten sacked many more times for how often the Texans, specifically Willie Anderson's out in the backfield. That guy's a stud. Just stud. Christian McCaffrey, 8 carries for 25 yards, 3.1 average. Very different from the game we just came against the Falcons, where it was that 49er rushing attack of old. And then Mac Jones had 2 rushes of 23 yards. Leading receiver, Juwan Jennings, 4 receptions, 45 yards. He had a big drop. Probably a tough catch, but somebody who wants to get paid. Jennings should have come down with that ball. and would have put us close to red zone for the Texans. Kendrick Bourne had 3 for 44, Kittle 4 for 43 and a touchdown, and Neve McCaffrey 3 for 43. The Texans were not going to let Christian McCaffrey beat us. And they didn't. They had a good scheme. Credit to their head coach, D'Amico Ryans, who used to be the DC for the Niners and also was on the staff when Robert Saleh was the defensive coordinator the first time. So, yeah, I like D'Amico Ryans as a player, liked him on the Niners, like him as a head coach. I kind of root for the Texans a little bit because of Ryans when Niners aren't playing them. And then... yeah, no other stats offensively related report from a defensive standpoint. Thune had 14 tackles. He's the replacement with Warner being out. He did okay. I mean, he did okay. There were some linebacker lapses that ended up being a touchdown. Malik Mustafa had 12 tackles because the Stroud was passing all over the field, and then Winters had 11 tackles. Upton Stout had 9. I would say if anybody other than Winters, I'd say Stout. Stout flashes. Even though he's going to make little mistakes, he gets a little handsy. He plays a big old chip on his shoulder. He's undersized, but I like him. I think that was a really, really solid draft pick. And then let's just slide over the Texans real quick. CJ 30 of 39, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It wasn't sacked any at all. 0. Yeah. Huff also being out, so really, really limited. Woody Marks, 11 carries for 62 yards. Nick Chubb, 17 carries for 56 yards. So, I mean, they were just pounding the ball. And then receiving, Xavier Hutchinson, that's the other receiver I couldn't think of, 5 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Knoll, the rookie, 5 for 63. And then Woody Marks, that running back, had 4 catches for 49 yards. So he must have had a loss at some point because he had a 50-yarder dump off, and there just was nobody there. And then I was wrong. Jaden Higgins, the other rookie, only had 1 touchdown. He had 4 for 34. So yeah, they just looked much better than the 49ers, and credit to the Houston Texans. They stomped the 49ers. So hopefully our boys will go back, learn a big lesson from this one and come up with a different scheme. But I'm going to tell you, the Niners have got to get rid of that ball. The line does not have time to quarterback to drop back and make passes. They're just in our face. So everything's got to be quick. And I hope that they start doing it. But we're 5-3, still a winning record with all these injuries. I guess I'll be happy about that. But yeah, not a good showing from the 49ers. And, credit goes to the Houston Texans. They handled business today. All right, y'all. Have a good week, and hopefully next check-in, it'll be a better review of the Niners. Take care.